Hi everyone, this video is a recording from our live stream on the 10th of January 2019. We do a live stream on Art Joy is Sharing each week on Thursday at 10:30 a.m. So if you'd like to be in the audience, come and join us. We'd be glad to have you there. But this is what I was doing. We were talking about challenges. You can see I have a black journal here where I've been doing some doodling. I started out the show doing some doodling. Here I have a tone tan journal, and I'm showing we've been influenced by some of the Aboriginal art we've been seeing on Pinterest. Here is a watercolor journal. I'm challenging myself to do some work in watercolor, and then this is my daily sketchbook. This is just a 4x6 sketchbook, and if you're part of my creative year, I'm teaching over there and a number of other teachers, and we do a daily sketch. We have creative words that are offered each week. And then, of course, there's Tag It Tuesday. That's a challenge from my friend Sherry. She does a monthly tag, and then Mike Deacon does his thing, and now I'm going to start working on my altered ATC because that's part of Pick a Stick Challenge, and that is another one that Shell and I do each month. We do a journal page challenge, and we do a challenge for an ATC. Well, we did the journal page last week, and this week I'm doing the ATC. And the first prompt says tear, so I'd torn these books out of an old dictionary, or these pages out of an old dictionary, and I'm just transferring some of the imagery that's on the page onto my ATC. You do that by just putting down a little bit of gel medium on both surfaces, let it partially dry, and then pull it back. And once you do that, you are getting the transfer. Well, I was doing the transfer because part of the challenge is to reduce. So I'm reducing the amount of paper I'm using by transferring it onto my ATC cardstock. And then the third prompt is grimy. So I'm going to make a grimy mix. I have some DecoArt media paint. I'm going to use this quinacridone gold in Payne's Gray and grimy up my card with these two colors of paint. Kind of makes it look like it's been weathered and out in the world. And then white is the color that is suggested for this particular one. Well, I got rid of the white by making it grimy, so now I'm going to come back in and splatter some white down and create my grimy surface with white splatters that will be the base for my ATC. So I'm just looking for a few things to put on top to decorate it with. I'm going to add a little bit more of that dictionary text onto there with a glue stick, and use some pieces that I had created in another live show. And these are all recorded. You know, these are on my other channel, which is Art Joy is Sharing, and you can go back and watch those, or I do have a playlist that shows those videos. I will try to remember to link that playlist at the end of the video so that you can just go over there and watch if you're interested in any of that stuff. So what I've done is I've taken one of those sketches, those daily sketches, out of my journal, and I've photocopied it and reduced it in size. You know, we're all about reducing this week. And cut it out with some stamp edge scissors. And so I've created my very own postage stamp out of that pine cone image. And then there's a little pine cone on this little piece of plastic that I decorated. So I'm doing a pine cone theme here, looks like. So I'm moving on to the tag. This is for Tag It Tuesday, and the first prompt on the tag says scribble with colored pencil. So I got out my Inktense pencils, and I'm just, putting them down in a rainbow fashion. And I'm sure it's the pine cone showing my sketches. We must have been talking about daily prompts and sketches and that sort of thing. So, there's my little sketchbook. It's just, maybe a 15-minute sketch that I do each day with the prompts. And then I'm going to wet that Inktense to set it on the paper. Inktense is an ink, and they become permanent once they dry down. And then the next prompt said splatter, something about splatter paint or ink. And so I am choosing to use some ink on my craft mat, splatter with ink or paint, and pick it up with that card just to get some more color and interest onto the background. So I'm going to back this out with a piece of cardstock because all that water, even though this is supposed to be a media paper, it's some cheap media paper, it's not holding up real well to the water. So I back it out, and then I start with my embellishing. Still got that paper out on my desktop, and one of the prompts says something about a random sentence, so I found the word random in my dictionary with the definition, and then I've got a random sentence from one of the Tim Holtz crazy sentence things that they sell them in the craft store. So I'm putting those down and then finding an image that I want to add, which is an owl. And I keep playing with things because I don't have exactly what I want out on my desk, and I should have done a little more shopping of my stash before we started this, but wasn't quite sure where I was headed this morning when we do a live. I just create, and it's the way I do it as I create, even though, a lot of times I cut things out of videos that aren't really necessary for the video and just give you the meat. Well, this is a live, and so it's different when you're doing a live than it is when you're creating a video. So I'm going back to drawing. I'm showing my little case that has all my pens in it. I got these Signo pens not too long ago. They have metallic on them. I'm also showing my graphite pencil that I use for shading, and how I store these things so that it's easy for me to work on these different projects depending on which one I'm doing. So now I'm illustrating how to use the Inktense on some of these sketches. It becomes a watercolor base, and I'm just adding a little bit of color to this leaf to show how you can do that on simple sketches. That was a Pentel water brush pen. So that's it for me this week. I hope you can join us in some of these challenges. Be sure and check out Facebook if you're interested, and I will see you again next time. So bye for now, my friends. Be kind to one another, and remember, you make a difference. So you are important to me. Bye for now.